And I'm sitting here today with Jason. Jason and I are currently working together on our EV initiative project. You may have seen our videos online. We are building a fast EV charging hub in Los Angeles, and as well as we do many other things in the EV charging space. Today, I just wanted to have a very down-to-earth conversation between myself and Jason, maybe give you guys a little more background on how we met, how we started working together, and how we ended up currently working together on the EV initiative project today. We've been friends now for
8 years going on.
About 8 years now. And funny story is I met Jason in another sales role. I was hired for a company doing hard asset investment sales. And this is where I met Jason. At the time, I was fresh out of college with zero to almost none sales experience in total. However, I did learn a lot from Jason, he taught me a lot about cold calling, how to handle sales, etc. We worked together in that role for about a year and a half. And I'll let Jason now introduce himself.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. My name's Jason McLaren. I'm a 25-year experienced sales pro. I've got ABC up on the board. If you don't know what that means, this is not the profession for you. I wanted to thank Aaron for doing this video to help people sell better. I guess that's the main focus of this. And I was a gifted salesman by genetics and by hard work. I'll tell you right now, the key to sales and making money is the desire to make money.
Well, let's talk about the current role, how we met each other, and how they essentially structured their sales process and the roles that we played within that company. So going into this company with almost zero sales experience, and this particular sales position, my job within this company was known as an account opener. So what I did was we would just make hundreds of phone calls a day, qualify leads, try to get them to open an account with our investment company. And then from there, it would go on to a more seasoned professional broker who would then work with that client over the long term. And that's exactly what Jason is referring to when he talks about, can you get the client to rebuy? In business, as you know, to acquire a customer is always way more challenging and way more expensive than to just sell more to your existing client base. And it's a lot more challenging, right? You're trying to convert a cold lead to a warm lead and then eventually a client. Once they're a client, it's a lot easier. You have a relationship, they've done business with you, they're happy with your company, they understand your product, your service, etc. So getting them to rebuy is a lot easier. Now, in this particular sales role where I met Jason, again, we were making several hundred phone calls a day. And that was very challenging to me at first, coming from no previous sales experience other than working in a retail store, which again is a little different. I believe at the time I was early 20s, maybe 21, I believe is when I first met Jason. And I'll let him add to that. But essentially, learned a lot from Jason. And it's very important to see other people having success in sales next to you. You hear them close a deal, have wins, and then that motivates you. And Jason can touch on that too, because sometimes we're sitting in this room, I'm having a bad day, not getting anywhere. You assume that the whole company's having a bad day when really they're not. You look over, you hear next to you, the guy sitting next to you, he is closing a deal. And then that's the energy, that brings the energy, allows you to kind of get out of the mental. You get jealous, right? And sales is a mental game. And Jason, I'll definitely let you expand on that a little bit more.
It's good that Aaron brought that up. If you see a competitor make a sale, you should be angry and jealous. That's a natural feeling. It's all about motivation with me. What motivates me to make more sales than the next guy or the next company or what have you? There's two major motivators. Money, number one. I know Aaron's money motivated. I've known him since he was a very young man, and he hasn't changed. If anything, he's more money motivated now than he was before. And then the other is ego. There's two major factors, money and ego. I'm not going to write it on the board. You can hear me. You can make your own notes, which I suggest. So let's focus on money. That's why I do this. I do sales so I can make money and earn a good living and provide nice stuff for my wife, myself, my daughter, etc. It's nice to get big paychecks. It's nice to have some money put away or nice assets. Got a nice gold chain here. Bought that with some of my sales commission. So money is very important. But for me on a personal level, for the elite salespeople, and I think Aaron has progressed into this, really, let's be honest, it's about ego. If you have a big ego, most top sellers do, that progressively translates into money. So by having the big ego, you hear somebody else get a sale and you don't think, oh, I'm not getting that commission. You think, how come he's getting it and I'm not? Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's hard work, etc. I want to go back to how I started in sales. I was a late bloomer. Aaron's younger currently right now than when I started sales. I started telemarketing in Montreal 2001, January. Okay, Montreal at the time, which unbeknownst to me, was the call center capital of the world. Over 1,000 call centers. I went up to Montreal. I was with a woman at the time. She was pregnant. I was having a child. And we left Niagara Falls in the fall because there's no jobs in Niagara Falls after October. And we went up, stayed at her dad's house. I started washing cars in 2001 in January. It was minus 50 for $6 an hour, Canadian. That's about $4 an hour US and some tips. So I would make literally $30 a day. And I'd have to walk home in the middle of the night. And I did it for a few days. And I realized this is not the career for me. Okay, so I looked in the paper the next day and there was an ad, can't speak French because most of Montreal is French, and I didn't speak French, I still don't, and there was an ad said can't speak French, come in, $10 an hour, 40 hours a week, $400 in 2001, that's about $600, $650 today. That's a lot more than $30 a day washing cars, which was backbreaking. I went in and the job was a unique job. For sales, I was selling buffalo jerky, buffalo bison jerky to American stores, C-stores, businesses, etc. It's a long story I'm not going to get into, but the reason I brought that up was my first day on the phone, I made 276 calls. I'll never forget that number. And I was a natural. I was being paid to send out free samples. And I didn't know why. I didn't understand the sales process at the time, which we can always come back to in another future episode about free samples. And I never looked back. The next day I did 330 or something. And what I learned, and why I'm bringing this up, is that whoever makes the most calls or the most door knocks or the most sales emails, Aaron's a lead generation marketing guru. He knows the most contacts will translate into the most success. So I just wanted to bring that up, how I got started. Aaron brought up how he got started. We met, we'd sit in a little room like this and all the bosses would leave and we could talk and learn from each other, and we learned to have fun. Yeah. That's very important in sales. We have slumps all the time. How I and other top sellers judge salespeople is how do you react to a slump? We'll come back that into a future. If you can't handle a slump, you're in the wrong business. If you can't handle the word no, you're in the wrong business. If someone hangs up on you or shuts a door and it bothers you and you can't get over that in 5 minutes, you're in the wrong business. You need to find a different career, and that's okay. Sales is not for everybody, and elite sales is not for everybody. So that's how I started in regards to my career. So most calls, work longer. I would work longer than a lot of people. Now that I'm seasoned pro, do I work as hard? No, I don't. I've earned that right. I've been in sales 25 years. I should. I don't listen to myself sometimes. But I'll tell you, when I'm in a slump, I'll go Monday morning and run out of gas Wednesday. And I'll work harder than my coworkers and my competition for a few days till I run out of gas. But do I go, I'm 55 years old. I am not 30 years old anymore. Aaron's younger. He's got more energy. It's hard. But I still work as hard as I can. So learning from mistakes is one of the three most important aspects of sales. We are all going to make mistakes. I made one yesterday. I don't make a lot of mistakes very much, but I made one and I told Aaron about it. Okay? So learning from mistakes. If we make a mistake in the sales cycle, and I'm going to come to asking for the sale in a minute, which is to me the most important part of a sale. I don't know how many salespeople I've worked with there and that didn't ask. They sat on the phone. That Gord guy who used to work with us. If you don't ask for the sale at least once to 3 times, you're wasting your time and the potential buyer's time. So learning from mistakes, goals. Everybody needs goals. Financial, ego, you need goals. If you have goals and you hit your goals, that's good. But if you surpass your goals, you're an elite salesman, and that's why we're here. We're not here to be mediocre or average salesmen. You could go and buy sales books or watch other videos. If you want to be an elite salesman, watch Aaron and I's videos, because I consider us elite salesmen. Aaron's more of the lead gen and the company aspect of it, and I'm more the hard knock on your door, ask for the sale, closer. But we've combined our skills so that now we have a business model that's successful. 4,100 closed clients, 1.7 million in 13 months of our recent project. That's pretty good. So product and company, it's important to pick the right product and the right company. To work with Aaron in our latest project, I took 150 to 200% pay cut, because I wanted to sell something that made people money, that was good, that we have no complaints out of 4,100 clients, which I think that's sick. Company. I hated some of the companies I worked at. I don't know how many Aaron did, I did. That's why we're in business together. It's not healthy to work for a company or people that you're not happy with, that treat you like crap. Especially, I've been number 1 at most of the companies I've worked at, and I will continue to be number 1 because I know these principles. I've talked about the motivators. The most important thing in sales, in my opinion, is asking for the sale. Mm-hmm. How the heck can you get a credit card from somebody, a check, cash, without asking for? I've watched idiot salespeople talk for 20 minutes trying to be friends and trying to trick people and lie to people. At some point, you have to ask for the sale. It could be right away, it could be later on, but how are you going to get sales if you don't ask for the sale? Consistency. I think to be top 1% or top guy in your company or in your field, you need to be consistent, okay? And one of my former bosses said to me, he judges salespeople how we react to slumps. Even I get in slumps. Aaron gets in slumps. We all do. But how we react to it, the only way is to work through it. There is no other way. You got to work through it. Every day you get up is a new day. It's a new opportunity. Somebody could say yes. You need to have that, or you're in the wrong profession. The most important thing in selling, to me, is trust. Is getting your clients to trust you. And the key with that, and I learned this. I didn't figure this out and teach it to people. I learned this from somebody. Was just if you're selling products or investments or real estate, whatever, start small, especially on a resale format, which I'll get to. What I'm getting at is when you're doing sales for any type of business that has residual sales, start small financially, earn their trust, and they will come back and buy over and over and over. If it's a one-hit sale, do whatever you want. The trust factor is less important, but your reputation, your online reputation, people calling you up. Do you want to change your number? I just think trust is very important in sales. The last thing I'm going to touch on is selling and reselling, and that goes back to trust. You need to figure out if you want to be selling homes, which is a one-shot sale. You may get a resale or a referral, or do you want to sell investment rebuys like us, or do you want to sell? Is it going to be a one-shot sale or a resale? It seems to me about half of the sales are resale and half are one-shot sales. Those are some of the points I wanted to touch, and I'm going to pass the mic back to Aaron and let him tell you a little bit about himself and his own career.
Yeah. So just to kind of end on this note, I wanted everyone to see Jason talk a little bit about his sales experience, our experience working together in the past, and our experience working together moving forward on the EVII Initiative project. to be honest, Jason is one of the very first people that I have put on payroll. So one of my very first employees I'm paying as a startup company, a small business owner. And for me, it was an easy decision to make. I didn't have to gamble on going to websites like Indeed, looking at resumes, and then talking about trust. Just trusting that these people are going to, do what they say, or they have the work ethic, etc. So I already knew this about Jason, had a great experience with him. And even when he first, came on board to work with EVII Initiative, he did mention he took a pay cut. All things considered, we are a startup.
For a bonus structure that's better.
For a bonus structure that's better. Again, we're raising capital here, so there's not a lot of money to play with. Obviously, all the money that comes in, we need to cover operating expenses, and most importantly, get the project completed. So again, very funny story. When we first hired him about a year ago, we worked on a contingency. We said, okay, why don't you come try it out for a month, all right? And let's see how it goes. And then I was skeptical. Like, again, I know Jason has the work ethic, determination, etc. Everything needed to become successful in his current role today with our company, EVII Initiative. But again, you never know. We are in a newer industry. Took some time for Jason to kind of get caught up to speed on the different EV charging technologies, et cetera. But he caught on very quick. So with his quick learning skills and his already built-in determination, he was very successful in this role. And I tell him every day that we are still a startup company. Mission Hills is our baby right now. We are doing everything to get that project started and completed within our projected timelines that we post on the internet, because this is a make or break project. From a company standpoint, we aren't trying to take 2 years to finish Mission. We want to get it done because we are already scouting and securing locations for properties number 1, 2, and 3. As those days happen and Mission comes online and we begin project number 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., our company is going to excel very, very rapidly. And I let Jason know this too. We're in the dog days of a startup company. However, all things considered, a lot of companies would be wishing that they were in our place, in our shoes, whatever you want to say. So off to a great start. In my opinion, we're maybe 1 year left in kind of the startup mode. But
and then people will be calling us.
People will be calling, again, like Jason mentioned earlier, Tesla has reached out. We have some celebrities reach out. So we have all these connections happening in the background, largely due to our marketing, our reach, and just overall what we're doing with this project. It's very different, very unique. There's no one out there doing this, and largely due to the fact that this is not an easy thing to do. We have people all the time reach out to our company who, whether they're investors in a project or they're customers of our EV charging station hardware and software, and they say, hey, I want to open up a fast EV charging hub in my city. Okay, great. We're happy to help. What's your budget? Well, I got $20,000. Can I go put up 30 fast level 3 DC chargers?
No.
Unfortunately, no, because you just don't understand that. And just to break it down.
What do you call those people? Dreamers.
Entrepreneurs with a lack of education and understanding, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to educate you.
You came up with a good
yeah,
word
and I was one of those guys too when I first started this business. I had no idea. I thought, hey, it's a piece of property. Why not put some chargers in? As you get into this and you go through the process, the engineering, the permitting, you start realizing that there are some real challenges. All things that can become overcome, but maybe from thinking that this is something I could throw up overnight to actually having a full understanding of what it takes. Not everyone is built to roll out EV charging infrastructure. That being said, so we'll end it here for today. But we just want to test this out. I wanted everyone to
write them down.
Any questions, put them in the comments, and we will reach out.
Any feedback?
Any feedback? Let us know.
Positive. If it's negative, we don't need to hear it.
We get enough of that.
Stop watching us. But if there's positive feedback, please, if you have important sales questions, contact us. While it doesn't cost any money, we're open to it. But thank you for taking some time and listening to our video and watching us today.
First of many. So you'll see myself and Jason. When Jason's on camera talking, obviously he's leading our Mission Hills project. He's going to be talking a lot about sales. As Jason mentioned, I do a lot of the lead generation, as he calls it, but lead generation, marketing, and then the overall business strategy.
Which is very, very important.
Very, very important because
without good leads, where am I?
Right. As a sales person or sales manager or whatever you want to refer to Jason as, he has many different roles. Essentially, It's important that business strategy, marketing strategy, he has a full understanding so that, everything is working in cadence and sequence, and there's no miscommunication from the top of the company to when it, down to our people on the front lines, essentially. So yeah, more videos to come. I'll also be sharing videos on marketing strategies, what I'm doing to secure locations, email marketing, different very cool AI tools that I'm using to put everything together. Just a whole lot of information. There'll be a lot of value on this channel, and this is just the first of many videos.
If you own a business and you're looking for more sales leads, reach out to Aaron. That's a very, very, very important aspect of this. And we're going to leave it be. Our motto is ABC. If you don't know what that means,
Google it.
Don't watch this.
There you go.
The ABC means always be closing. Glenn, Gary, Glenn, Ross. All you need to do, if you haven't done it, is watch Glenn, Gary, Glenn, Ross, the first 7 minutes. Do that once a week. Motivate yourself to get on board, and that's a start. You've got to put in the time to become a better salesperson, whether you're rookie or doing this. I've been doing sales 25 years, and I'm still learning about sales. That's important. You don't know everything.
Yeah. So again, we're just hoping to add value, and if we get a lot of traction, you guys like Jason, like his advice, and we're definitely going to do more. So thank you. We'll end it there.
Always be closing.
There you go.